English learning skills. Hello, my name is Sam. I am a student of English. This is my story. I want to tell you about my life in London. I want to tell you about my fantastic teacher. You can read my story and learn English with me. My English learning process. It is a beautiful summer day. I am traveling on a train. Two women are on the train with me. The women sit opposite me. The women speak English, but I don't understand much. I study English, but I am a beginner and don't know many words. I start to speak to the women. I say some words in my basic English. The women understand what I want to say. I am happy. I say that I want to learn English. The women tell me that they are from England. They go home from a conference. Our conversation is 10 minutes long. The next station is my station. I say goodbye. The women give me their address and phone number. They tell me that I can visit them in England. Then we say goodbye. After this meeting, I work on my English every day. I translate texts and watch films in English. In 6 months, my English is much better. It is good, but I want to know more. I go to London. I want to study English in London. When I am in London, I go to a school. My first lesson is on Monday. I meet my teacher and other students in the class. My teacher is a young lady. She is very nice. We say our names and where we are from. Then the lesson starts. Our teacher has a question for us. She wants to know how we study English. Our teacher says that she can teach us a very effective method to learn English. This method is very simple. Our teacher tells us that we don't have to study, we don't have to read textbooks, but we have to use English a lot. It is very good for me because I don't like studying and I don't like textbooks. Then we speak about what is important when we learn a new language. Our teacher tells us we need languages for communication. Languages help us say ideas and understand ideas. So when you learn a new language, the best method is to use the language for communication, and this is what we will do in our course. We will speak a lot. Many students try to remember new words. They also study grammar rules. And these students don't use English for speaking. They study about the language, but they don't use the language. Of course, you need to learn new words and new grammar, but you don't have to study them. In this course, I want to show you a very simple and effective method for learning words and grammar. I like what our teacher says. Our lesson continues. We speak about our hobbies and what we do in our free time. We speak in pairs or with our teacher. We speak all the lesson. I like it. I am really happy. This system of learning is very good for me. When you want to learn English, use English for communication. How to learn words. I go to school on Tuesday again. One student asks a question which is very interesting. She asks what is the best method to learn new words. Our teacher says there are many things you can do if you want to learn new words. For me, reading is the best. If you read, you learn faster than people who don't read. It is good to read for 30 minutes every day. I want to show you what you can do if you want to get the maximum from reading. It is very important that the book or text you read is interesting for you. The book can be a nice story, or the text can have some interesting information for your job or your hobby. Don't read a text that isn't interesting for you. It is good to read a text in which you know a lot of words. Of course, sometimes you can see words you don't know. When you see a word you don't know, take a dictionary and look it up. Then continue reading. You don't have to write the word on a piece of paper, and you don't have to try to remember the word. When you translate the word, continue reading and concentrate only on understanding the text. It is important. When you see another new word, Translate the word. The method is very simple. You only read and translate new words. It is all. Reading is also good because when you read, you learn how every word is connected to other words in the sentence. You see how to connect the words correctly. This method of learning new words is very effective. Try it and you can see how fast you can learn new words. Then we continue with the lesson. We speak about the situation in England and the best jobs for students. This is good because I want to have a job. I want to do something after my school. I ask other students if they know where I can find a job. They tell me that I can go to a job center. The job center has a lot of jobs for students. This is good for me. I am happy that I know where I can find a job. When my day at school is finished, I go to the job center. I don't know what jobs I can do, so I ask the lady at the job center what the best job for a student is. The lady tells me that they have some good jobs for students. She tells me that I can be a cleaner or a waiter in a cafe. I tell the lady that I have no experience with these jobs. She tells me that my English is good for working at a cafe. The training is not difficult, and I can use English when I speak to customers. The lady tells me that I can start my job on Thursday. It is all good for me. I'm happy that I have a job where I can use English. When you want to learn new words effectively, read for 30 minutes every day. How to learn pronunciation. On Wednesday, I go to school again. There is one student in the class who is more quiet than other students. He is from South Korea. When our teacher asks if we have any questions for her, this student from Korea says that he has a question. He says that he has a big problem with pronunciation. He knows that his pronunciation is not very good, but he doesn't know how to make it better. He doesn't speak much because he doesn't like his pronunciation. He says that he reads and watches films in English a lot. He understands very well, but he also wants to speak well. He asks if there is something he can do to improve his pronunciation. When my teacher hears this, she says, "Okay, I can tell you something about pronunciation and how to practice it. I also want to teach you a technique that can help you with pronunciation. First, we have to look at why students have problems with pronunciation. When we speak, we have to move our mouth and use muscles in our mouth. The problem is that when you speak English, sometimes you use your muscles like in your native language. Then your English pronunciation is like pronunciation in your native language. This happens to many students who learn English. Almost every student has a slightly different pronunciation than native speakers. It is not a big problem because usually people understand what you want to say. You are a student and it is logical that your pronunciation is not perfect when you study English, but you can work on your pronunciation and make it better. There is a great technique that can help you a lot. The name of this technique is shadowing. The technique is very simple. When you do shadowing, you simply copy the sound you hear. When children learn their first language, they also copy what they hear. They copy after their parents again and again, and after some time, their pronunciation is perfect. You can learn English pronunciation the same way. You can take a video that is not very fast and which you understand very well. You listen and copy what you hear. When you hear it, it is all. Then our teacher goes to www.youtube.com and finds a good video where the shadowing technique is well demonstrated. We watch the video. Then we all try to do shadowing for about 3 minutes. Then our teacher tells us, shadowing is also good when you are preparing for a presentation and you want to have good pronunciation. Before the presentation, you can go to some place where you are alone and do shadowing for about 10 minutes. You will see how much it will help you to have better pronunciation during the presentation. This is very interesting for me. I haven't heard about this technique before. When the lesson finishes, I go to the school reception. I ask the lady if there are any sports activities at school. I would like to do some sport in England. The lady at the reception says, "Yes, we have a table tennis team and a football team. The football team has training today at 5 o'clock. I am very happy because sport is very important in my life. I go to the training of the football team. I meet a lot of players from different countries. The players are from Brazil, Japan, Russia, Spain, Argentina, and Italy. I like the training. I am very happy that my time in England starts well. I have a great teacher. I also have some new friends from my football team. Also, tomorrow I am starting my job. When you want to have good pronunciation, repeat after native speakers. How to practice speaking. On Thursday, I go to school again. We have a new student in our class. Her name is Monica, and she is from Italy. At the beginning of the lesson, my teacher asks Monica some questions. My teacher knows Monica because Monica visited her class 1 year ago. It was a class for beginners and was only for 2 weeks during the summer holiday. When Monica speaks, her English is beautiful. Her pronunciation is very good, and she is very fluent. My teacher is very happy, and she tells Monica, "Your school in Italy must be very good." Monica says, "I don't go to any school. I learn English at home. I use techniques from you. I do a lot of reading, shadowing, and thinking aloud. I try to think more in English than in Italian. This is how I work on my English. The 2 weeks which I spent last summer at your class helped me a lot. You showed me the way. I know how to work on my English every day. This is why I wanted to go to your class again, because 1 year ago I was a beginner, and now I can speak English. I want to learn from you again." My teacher is very happy when she hears these words. She thanks Monica for her hard work. It is all very interesting for me. I already know about reading. I also know the shadowing technique, but Monica also speaks about thinking aloud. I don't know what it is, so I ask our teacher, "What is thinking aloud?" Our teacher says it is a very effective technique. You have to have a strong motivation to learn English if you want to benefit from this technique. It is also good to know that for some people this technique is a little crazy, but when you start to think aloud, your English can improve very fast. I say, I have a strong motivation. I don't care if the technique is crazy. If it helps, I want to learn it. Can you teach us this technique? Okay, it is actually very simple, says our teacher. You think in your native language all day, every day. It is normal. Now you can start to think in English, and when you start to think in English, then you can think aloud. You simply say aloud what you think. It is all. I say, it is very simple. Why is it very effective? Our teacher says, maybe you can ask Monica. She uses this technique. Maybe she can tell you more about it. Then our teacher asks Monica if it is okay for her to speak about her experience with thinking aloud. It is no problem for Monica. She says, when I started with this technique, it wasn't easy. I started with very simple sentences. For example, I can speak English. It is good that I can speak English. I want to be better. I need to practice every day. I don't know many words, but I can use these words well. I can say my ideas with these words. I can do this. This is great. The sentences were really simple, but at the beginning there was one problem. My thinking in Italian was long and complicated. I wasn't able to say in English exactly what I was saying in Italian. I needed to find a simpler form for English. To think in simple English was the hardest part, but after some time, it was normal for me to think in English. Then something interesting happened. I met a man from Australia. He was on holiday in Italy. I was still a beginner, but we started to speak English. I could see that I was able to speak with him without big problems. My sentences were simple and short, but I was able to speak. I didn't translate in my head from Italian to English. After the meeting with the man from Australia, I started to use thinking aloud more. This technique helped me a lot with my speaking. I still use it every day. It is really a very effective technique. Our teacher thanks Monica for her experience with thinking aloud. I want to use this technique because I also want to be better at speaking. When you want to speak English fluently, think aloud. How to learn grammar. After school, I go to the cafe where my job training starts. I don't know what to expect. I have no experience. I'm not sure if I can do this job. When I come to the cafe, I am very surprised. It is a modern cafe which sells coffee, tea, and also chocolate cakes and sandwiches. My boss is only 25 years old. She started to work at the cafe 2 years ago. She has a lot of experience, and she knows everything perfectly. She shows me how to prepare coffee, how to wash the dishes, and how to deal with customers. It is all new for me. I remember only about 20% of what she tells me, but then she lets me do the work and corrects me when I make a mistake. She is very friendly, and I learn fast. After the first day at work, I am very tired, but I am happy that I have a job. The next day is Friday, and I go to school again. One student asks an interesting question. Sometimes when I speak, I am not sure if I speak correctly. I am not sure if I use correct grammar. Can you help me? What should I do if I want to learn grammar? Our teacher says, "Thank you for your question." There are two groups of students. Some students study English because they want to be able to speak, and some students study English because they want to pass an exam. For each group, the situation is different. First, I will speak about the students who need English for speaking. If this is you, you don't have to study grammar a lot. When you learn your native language, you also learned it without studying grammar. You can learn English grammar naturally by using the language. The best way to learn grammar naturally is by reading a lot. Books are written in good grammar. When you read, you will learn grammar in the context of the whole sentence. I also recommend shadowing. When you do shadowing, you practice the correct grammar naturally. You don't have to try to remember anything. You only copy sentences with correct grammar. If you need English for speaking but also want to study grammar, you can visit www.ggrammarls.com. This website shows what grammar is important for the different levels of English. You can find the most important grammar rules for speaking there. The second group of students are those who study English for passing an exam. If you are one of these students, I recommend studying specifically for this exam. It can help to use versions of this exam from past years if possible, and train with them. Of course, your exam will be a little different, but the structure is usually the same or very similar. From my point of view, the versions of the exam from past years are good training materials. Then I recommend going to the exam only when your results in the training materials are such that you can pass the exam successfully. Did I answer your question? Yes, thank you, says the student. This is good news. I don't like studying grammar. I learn English because I want to be able to speak. I don't need to pass any exam. I am happy that I don't have to study grammar much. I like reading and am happy that I can learn grammar by reading books. After the lesson, I go to the website www.grammarinls.com. It is really a nice website. There are grammar rules with examples for each level. They have 3 levels, 1000, 2,000, and 3,000 words. In the afternoon, I go to my work. It is my second day, and I can already do a lot of things by myself, but my boss helps me when I need it. I see that my work is not very difficult. Also, I can practice English when I speak to our customers. When you want to have good grammar, read a lot. Lesson 6. How to test your English. It is Monday again, and I go to my school. Our teacher asks us what we did at the weekend. I say that I was at work on Saturday. I say that I can already do my work well. I say that I am happy when I can speak to our customers. When I speak, one of the girls in the class asks me, "What happened to your voice? You sound very different from what we heard last week. Your pronunciation is very good." I smile and I say, "Thank you." I use shadowing on Saturday evening after my work and the whole Sunday. I try to speak like a native speaker. I know that it is not perfect, but I also see a big change in my pronunciation. Our teacher asks if other students tried to practice shadowing. 3 students say yes. One of them is the student from South Korea. He also likes this technique. One student says that she tried the technique, but her mouth was in pain after 5 minutes of shadowing and she stopped. She also says that she wasn't always able to repeat everything because the recording was very fast for her. Our teacher says, "Thank you for trying out this technique. If you do shadowing for the first time and your mouth is in pain after 5 minutes, you're doing it correctly. You need to train your muscles to this new way of speaking. It is like going to the gym for the first time. Your muscles can hurt if they are not trained. If the muscles in your mouth hurt, you can take a break after 5 minutes of shadowing and continue a bit later. With every 5 minutes of practice, your pronunciation gets better." Shadowing has other advantages as well. You practice the correct pronunciation in English, and you also practice other things, such as intonation, rhythm, and connecting words in whole sentences. I know that at the beginning, the recording can sometimes be very fast for you. If this happens, you can repeat only the first or the last word in the sentence. With practice, you will be able to repeat more. I say that it is true. On Saturday, when I started with shadowing, it was difficult for me, but on Sunday evening it was easy to repeat what I heard. Then I have a question for our teacher. I tell her that I looked at www.ggrammarls.com. The website is interesting, but I don't know what level is for me because I don't know how many words I know. Our teacher asks other students if they know how many words they know in English. It is interesting to see that nobody knows. We know that we are intermediate students, but we don't know how many words we know. Our teacher says, there is a website for people who study foreign languages. You can do a test there to find out how many words you know. The test has only 2 steps and it is really simple. The name of the website is www.tlanguages.com. You can do the test every month and see how much you have improved during that month. If you want, you can now take your smartphones and go to that website to do the test. I am really interested in knowing how many words I know, so I do the test immediately. I find out that I know 2,100 words in English. Most of the students know between 2,000 and 2,200 words. Only Monica and the boy from South Korea know 2,500 words. Our teacher says, so you can see that when you go to www.ggrammarls.com, you should already know grammar from level 2. You can start using grammar from level 3 because level 3 is for students who know between 2,000 and 3,000 words. Test your progress every month. How to handle mistakes. On Tuesday, I go to school again. One student asks our teacher an interesting question. She says, I want to practice speaking with people around me, but I don't want to make mistakes. I don't want to look stupid. Can you help me? Our teacher says, making mistakes is a very interesting topic. There are a lot of opinions on this topic. I want to show you what I believe is the best to do. I have a lot of experience with this because I also learn new languages. For example, now I am learning Spanish. When I speak Spanish, I don't care if I make mistakes or not. The reason why I don't care about mistakes is simple. When I learned my native language, I didn't care about making mistakes. Mistakes weren't important for me. My main goal when I use any language is to say my ideas. That is all. I know that when I read a lot, speak, and do shadowing, my Spanish will get better and better. I know that this can look very simple, but it is my opinion. This is what I have learned after many years of teaching and learning languages. It works very well for me and many of my students. When I speak, I only concentrate on speaking at the moment. I know 1,500 words in Spanish. It is the level of a 2-year-old child. 2-year-old children make a lot of mistakes when they speak, but they don't care about their mistakes. They continue using their native language, and when they are 3 years old, they make very few mistakes. By the time they are 4 years old, they usually speak very well. You can do the same now. Most of you know about 2,000 words, so it is absolutely okay to make mistakes from time to time. When you continue using English, there will be fewer and fewer mistakes in your speaking. It is not possible to reach a higher level if you don't make mistakes when you practice English. It is okay not to be perfect. Perfection comes with practice. All people who started to learn English started from the beginning, from the same level, from level 0. Learning languages is like learning to play a musical instrument. It needs to be trained. When you start your training, it is not perfect at the beginning and you make mistakes. It is normal. Take it as a necessary part of your learning process. If you don't go through this period of making mistakes, you can't get to higher levels. When you continue to use English, the mistakes can gradually go away. If you want to make fewer and fewer mistakes, do a lot of reading and shadowing. When you read, you can read aloud. It can also help you make fewer mistakes in real conversations. Care only about exchanging ideas. Don't worry about making mistakes when you speak. You practice changing your ideas into words. You don't learn grammar or words during this. You have other activities for that. Don't worry. Everybody who learns a foreign language makes mistakes sometimes. Famous people, bosses of big companies, or politicians make mistakes too. When you listen to these people on TV, you see that they don't care about mistakes. They care about what is important, which is expressing their ideas. You can do the same. Does it make sense? The girl says, "Yes, thank you." If you don't want to make mistakes, do a lot of reading and shadowing. How to improve your English. Speaking English is very important. Many people around the world speak English. If you can speak English well, you can talk to many people, make new friends, get a good job, and travel to different countries. So, how can you improve your English speaking? First, you need to practice every day. Practice is very important. When you practice, you get better. You can practice with your friends, family, teacher, or alone. You can talk to yourself in English, saying, "Hello, how are you? I am fine, thank you." This is a good way to start. Second, listen to English every day. Listening is also very important. When you listen, you learn new words, how to say the words, and how to make sentences. You can listen to English songs, watch English movies, listen to English radio, and watch English TV shows. You can also listen to people who speak English by going to places where people speak English, listening to them, and learning. Third, read English books. Reading is very good for learning English. When you read, you learn new words and how to make sentences. You can read easy books, children's books, newspapers, magazines, and anything in English. When you read, you should read out loud. This will help you with your speaking. You can also read with a friend and read to each other. This is a good way to practice. Fourth, write in English. Writing is also good for learning English. When you write, you learn how to make sentences. You can write a diary in English, write about your day, letters to your friends, emails, and stories. When you write, you should try to use new words. This will help you learn new words. Fifth, do not be afraid to make mistakes. Making mistakes is okay. Everyone makes mistakes. When you make a mistake, you learn. You can ask your teacher, friends, or family for help. They will help you and tell you how to say things correctly. Do not be shy. Speak English as much as you can. The more you speak, the better you will get. Sixth, think in English. This is very important. When you think in English, you will speak better. You can start with small things. For example, when you see a chair, you can think, this is a chair. When you see a book, you can think, this is a book. When you are hungry, you can think, I am hungry. When you are tired, you can think, I am tired. When you think in English, it will be easier to speak English. Seventh, learn new words every day. Learning new words is very important. When you know more words, you can say more things. You can use a dictionary to learn new words and write them in a notebook. You can try to use the new words in sentences. This will help you remember the new words. Eighth, speak slowly. When you speak slowly, it is easier to say the words correctly. It is also easier for people to understand you. Do not speak too fast. Take your time, think about what you want to say, and then say it slowly. Ninth, join an English class. Taking a class is very helpful. You can learn many things in an English class, such as new words and how to make sentences. You can practice speaking with your classmates and ask your teacher questions. Your teacher can help you with your speaking. 10th, have fun. Learning English should be fun. When you have fun, you will want to learn more. You can play games in English, sing songs in English, watch funny movies in English, and talk to your friends in English. When you have fun, you will learn better. 11th, use technology. Today, we have many tools to help us learn English. You can use apps on your phone. Many apps can help you practice speaking English, learn new words, and work on pronunciation. You can also use the internet to find websites, watch videos on YouTube, and take online courses. Technology is very helpful for learning English. 12th, make English-speaking friends. Having friends who speak English is very helpful. You can practice speaking with them, and they can help you with your mistakes and teach you new words. You can learn about their culture and how people speak English in different countries. Making friends who speak English can be very fun and helpful. 13th, watch English news. Watching the news is a good way to learn English. You can learn about what is happening in the world, new words, and how people speak in different situations. You can watch news on TV or the internet. Watching the news can help you improve your English. 14th, join an English-speaking club. Many places have clubs where people meet to speak English. You can join these clubs to meet new people, practice speaking with them, and learn from them. Joining an English-speaking club is a good way to practice and improve your English. 15th, travel to English-speaking countries. Traveling is a great way to improve your English. When you travel, you have to speak English. You have to talk to people in hotels, restaurants, and shops, ask for directions, and communicate with people. Traveling to English-speaking countries can be very fun and helpful. 16th, use flashcards. Flashcards are a good way to learn new words. You can make flashcards with new words, write the word on one side, and the meaning on the other side. You can look at the flashcards every day and practice saying the words. Flashcards are very helpful for learning new words. 17th, record yourself speaking. Recording yourself is a good way to practice. You can listen to yourself, hear your mistakes, and understand how you sound. You can practice saying the words correctly and ask your friends or teacher to listen to your recording. They can help you with your mistakes. Recording yourself is very helpful for improving your English. 18th, mimic native speakers. Mimicking is a good way to learn how to speak. You can listen to native speakers and try to speak like them. You can copy their pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. Mimicking native speakers can help you sound more natural when you speak English.
19. Read aloud.
Reading aloud is very helpful. When you read aloud, you practice speaking. You can hear how the words sound, practice your pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. Reading aloud is a very good way to improve your speaking. 20th, practice with a partner. Having a partner to practice with is very helpful. You can practice speaking with your partner, help each other with mistakes, learn from each other, practice conversations, and practice asking and answering questions. Practicing with a partner is a good way to improve your English. 21st, use a mirror. Speaking in front of a mirror can help you. You can see yourself when you speak, see your mouth, and how you say the words. You can practice your facial expressions and gestures. Using a mirror can help you improve your speaking. 22nd, participate in online forums. Online forums are a good place to practice English. You can join forums where people discuss different topics, read what other people write your own comments, ask questions, and answer questions. Participating in online forums can help you practice writing and improve your vocabulary. 23rd, write scripts for conversations. Writing scripts can help you prepare for conversations. You can write down what you want to say, write different responses, and practice the script by saying it out loud. Writing scripts can help you feel more confident when speaking. 24th, learn about different cultures. Learning about cultures can help you understand how people use English. You can learn about customs, traditions, how people greet each other, and how people talk in different situations. Learning about cultures can help you communicate better. 25th, set goals. Setting goals is very important. You should set small goals. For example, you can set a goal to learn 5 new words every day. You can set a goal to practice speaking for 10 minutes every day. You can set a goal to read 1 book every month. Setting goals can help you stay motivated. 26th, reward yourself. When you reach your goals, you should reward yourself. This can help you stay motivated. For example, if you learn 5 new words every day for a week, you can reward yourself with a treat. If you practice speaking every day for a month, you can reward yourself with something you like. Rewarding yourself can make learning English more fun. 27th, be patient. Learning a new language takes time. You need to be patient. You will not become fluent in one day. You need to practice every day and keep trying. You will make mistakes, and this is okay. Do not give up. Be patient and keep practicing. 28th, Use English in your daily life. Try to use English as much as you can. You can write your shopping list in English. Write your notes in English. Talk to your pets in English, and think in English. Using English in your daily life will help you improve. 29th. Find a language exchange partner. A language exchange partner is someone who wants to learn your language. You can help each other. You can speak in English for some time, then speak in your language. This way, both of you can learn. A language exchange partner can help you practice speaking and improve your English. 30th. Join online language learning communities. There are many online communities where people learn languages. You can join these communities to meet people who want to learn English. You can practice speaking with them, ask questions, and share tips. Joining online language learning communities can be very helpful. 31st. Take advantage of language exchange apps. There are apps specifically designed for language exchange where you can find partners who are native speakers of English. You can chat with them, voice call, or even video call to practice your speaking skills. These apps often have built-in tools for correcting each other's language, which can be very helpful. 32nd. Practice pronunciation. Pay attention to how words are pronounced in English. English pronunciation can be tricky because some words are spelled similarly but pronounced differently. Practice saying words slowly and clearly, and try to mimic the correct pronunciation you hear from native speakers. Improve your listening comprehension and speaking skills. 35th. Take note of your progress. Keep track of your improvement in speaking English. Celebrate your achievements, whether big or small. Reflect on what you have learned and what areas you still need to work on. This will keep you motivated and focused on your goal of improving your English speaking. 36th. Attend English speaking events and workshops. Look for opportunities in your community or online where you can participate in English speaking events or workshops. These events often provide structured practice sessions and opportunities to interact with fluent speakers. 37th. Focus on fluency over accuracy. While it's important to speak correctly, especially in formal settings, prioritize fluency in everyday conversations. Don't worry too much about making occasional mistakes. The more you practice speaking, the more naturally fluent you will become. 38th. Practice speaking in different situations. Try to practice speaking English in various situations, such as ordering food at a restaurant, making phone calls, or giving presentations. Each situation requires different language skills and will help you become more confident in using English. 39th. Get feedback from native speakers. Seek feedback on your English speaking skills from native speakers or fluent speakers. They can provide valuable insights into areas where you can improve, such as pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary usage. 40th. Stay motivated and persistent. Learning a language takes time and effort. Stay committed to your goal of improving your English speaking skills. Set realistic expectations and be patient with yourself as you progress. In conclusion, improving your English speaking skills requires dedication and practice. Use these tips and strategies to enhance your language ability step by step. Remember, each small effort you make toward speaking English better will bring you closer to fluency. Keep practicing, keep learning, and enjoy the journey of mastering a new language. Thank you.